Daniel's Dread Tales is a show for grown-ups. It may contain adult language and adult themes. Please check the episode description for content warnings.
Last time on Eternal Lies.
With Donovan's holdings seemingly unassailable, our investigators hatched a half-baked plan to snatch the man or his wife. While Falk and Kilworth went on a bohemian expedition to the local playhouse, Kane and Morgan tailed Donovan across the city. Though the opera house seemed a dead end for now, Collin Kane found new leads in a visit to the intensive care ward and a stop at the graveyard, revealing Mrs. Donovan to have passed precisely when the testament described an increase in production of the nefarious nectar the cult trades in. Once the team regrouped with this new information, the decision was made to split up the books from Trammell's estate. And while some were left shaken by their reading, Kay Morgan found herself in the possession of a strange new power that just might help tip the odds in their direction. The die is cast, the pact is sealed. May God have mercy on our souls. It's Daniel's Dread Tales.
I'm your game master, Daniel Fernandez, he, him.
I'm Damien, he, they. I will be playing Reginald Kilworth.
I'm Nathan, and I am playing J.B. Falk, a writer.
I'm Russell, they, them, and I'll be playing Collin Kane, Private Eye.
I'm Renee, she, they, and I will be playing Dr. Kane Morgan, she, her.
Well, everybody, after restless nights, either from reading horrible books or being woken up by people who read horrible books, you now face another day in scenic Malta,
Where we're going to do horrible things.
Almost certainly.
You don't have to do anything horrible.
I guess we haven't done the horrible things, it's just that horrible things have happened to us, which is arguably worse.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, we're probably going to do something horrible too.
Yeah.
And worse things have happened to us.
As you go outside in the morning, I don't know who's the first one outside, but there's a dead gull rotting in the street, half crushed by passing cars, its feathers matted and sticky with blood.
Breakfast!
Well, that's an ominous thing to see first thing in the morning.
You know, a couple days I was describing like, oh, it's so nice here, the weather was beautiful, there was a guy plucking a guitar. Just thought I'd maybe give you a different description this morning.
Yeah. Though, to be fair, hearing about roadkill just makes me think of home. I don't know what the drivers of my town have against squirrels, but it's bad. Whatever it is they have.
Gotcha.
Same, but deer.
All right. So as you set up shop and compare notes over your morning breakfast, what does the conversation turn to? Is there anything else people are doing in the morning before they come to breakfast, you know?
More frantic calisthenics.
Ah, got it.
Now I know what I'm running from.
Oh, God.
Every day is
that
leg
tracks.
day if you're running from your problems.
I would be feeling quite unsettled by the whole hyperspace gate thing. I will probably talk to Kearns briefly about it.
When you try to talk to Kearns, he is kind of ignoring you a little bit. He just seems distracted. Oh, I hope everything's okay.
Yes, I mean, it's obviously unsettling, but I suppose I can deal. You seem troubled, Franklin. Is there something wrong?
It's nothing, just some bad dreams.
Assess honesty.
He's been having some nightmares lately, and he is afraid to tell you about them.
Oh. You know you don't need to put up a facade in front of me, right?
Yeah, but it's... You know, it was really weird. This is weird. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Well, whenever you feel ready to talk about it, I will be there for you.
Thanks. It's fine. Just more proof we need to get this done. Yeah.
And we proceed with our breakfast.
Breakfast time. So what's the plan for today?
We wanted to break into the ICU today, didn't we?
Well, I know I was going to do that.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a 4-person job, but at the same time, I don't know what the other 2 people would be doing.
Well, both the Opera House and the grave are currently a no-go. They're kind of pointless. That leaves maybe finding a way into the townhouse or checking out the yacht.
I was gonna say, we haven't really looked into the yacht yet. Partially, that's because there's no way to approach a yacht without being seen, but I guess that's why binoculars exist.
When it comes right down to it, gentlemen, there is a way as of last night.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You also could just get a boat. Like, I know you're talking about using a mystical thing that would either drive you mad or have you sacrifice your own blood to teleport. You also could, like, get a boat and go over to the yacht.
But, like...
We're talking about being approached and seen, though, right?
Yeah, like...
Undetected.
The problem is we're trying to keep a low profile, and the ocean has no cover.
Well, there's always the cover of darkness.
Yeah, the trouble is I have not seen the inside of the yacht, so...
Exactly. So, here's what I suggest. We take the time today, scope out the yacht, rent or buy a boat, and when it gets dark, I can get whichever of us want to go out there. I have a little bit of experience with boats.
Alright. So we've got our 2 objectives for the day.
How do we go about the boat? What do we do? Like, do we try to get on it in broad daylight?
Here's what I suggest. Those of us who are going to the yacht, go scope out the situation, go procure the boat, and then when night falls, we take the boat out to the yacht. That can be done while 2 of us are going to the ICU.
All right.
If you guys want, I could just get you a boat, Currents volunteers. Like, I could handle that if you're... I mean, it's your call, but I don't know.
I think the security of our rooms is a little bit more important at this point, and also I personally would like you to have as much plausible deniability as possible.
That's true. If anybody needs plausible deniability, it is the person who we need the most free for when we need to get the fuck out. While the boat team is out procuring the boat, it would also behoove you take some binoculars and scout the yacht and the docks where the yacht parks.
Docks.
That's
Moors.
Suggested.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sleeps.
Sorry, just, confirming,
Lurks.
putting it all...
Floats.
I'm an intelligent man. JP gives an awkward thumbs up.
I pat you on the shoulder.
Damn, how am I the sane one? How did that happen?
I'm still sane.
Oh yeah, I'm still sane. I'm just actively speedrunning that not being the case. That's all.
Yeah, but they do keep reading books that are actually not that detrimental.
Yeah, I've been kind of lucky thus far. Kind of unlucky.
Alright, well, tonight I'm reading a book, and we're just gonna see how that goes.
Oh no, no. Okay, so who's going where?
Okay,
Team hospital.
Hospital.
I guess that puts me and Reginald on Team Boat.
Unless...
Were these the teams from before?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it just keeps working out that way.
Unless there's a third thing we need to look at.
I think we should fully scope out the everything before we go about the kidnapping.
In the perfect world, yes, that's the way it's gonna happen, but...
Yeah, who the hell knows how this is gonna go?
The joke kidnapping, that is, Kearns.
Well, JB, let's head up to somewhere where we can check out that yacht.
Sounds good.
Okay.
And with that, Reginald downs the cup of coffee that he was kind of nursing and gets up from the table.
JV also grabs something, downs it, and then quickly stops. Up. That was maple syrup. That was maple syrup.
All right. Let's see what happens over at Hospital Superbellissima.
Sounds pleasant.
Super Nintendo.
Yeah, it's a nice place. This definitely is an old building, though it looks like it's relatively modernized. The Hospital Superbellissima is built in a much older building. It looks like it's a sprawling mansion, or was at one point, and has been recently-ish converted into a modest little hospital. It's 6 stories tall. It's made up of sturdy stone, and it's kind of cramped and dark for a hospital. There are big, tall, windows for the outer rooms, which let in a lot of light, but the rooms that are a little deeper in, much darker. How do you intend to approach it?
Well, on our approach, what floor was the ICU on?
I believe I said that was the 3rd floor.
Okay. Just in case we have to get creative.
Oh, God.
Well, Kay, how are you with disguises?
Renee wants to say that she owns a sexy nurse outfit, but Kay would not say that. Probably. I mean, who knows? We'll see. Well, I did take a drama class in college, so...
Do you actually have the skilled disguises?
No.
So, I took a drama class in college means you think you know disguises, but absolutely.
Yeah. It means I have worn, a top hat once.
Yeah.
I'm better at stealth. I can be rather unassuming.
Well, I'm not too good at this stealth, but I clean up pretty good. How about I find us a set of scrubs each, and we take it from there?
I'll trust you.
I, of course, set myself up to look like a doctor, and I acquire ninja-style scrubs for Kay.
Ninja-style scrubs?
Yes.
Please
They're much more
explain
stealthy.
further.
I don't know if I know what ninja scrubs are.
They're a darker color. They cover your whole face, not just the mouth. There's a lot of pockets for syringes, samples, and deadly throwing knives.
So basically, you're going to put me on a stretcher and cover me with a sheet.
Or that.
I can be a convincing corpse.
I could say you could get Dr. Morgan scrubs. I don't know about ninja-style scrubs.
Just because that definitely doesn't exist?
Yeah, that's one of the issues.
I guess that makes sense.
Okay. Make me a disguise roll, difficulty 5.
And would my points have reset? I have not reset them since before we got to Malta.
They should have reset when you got to Malta, but that's the only time they've reset.
Fair. Well, I nailed it with a 7.
Yay!
Okay.
God damn.
Hopefully that sets the tone for everybody else for tonight.
No, that's not how it works with my rolls.
Okay. You are now in the hospital. Congratulations.
And I disguise Kay as maybe a little too convincing of a corpse.
Okay, Kay's a corpse, huh?
Yeah.
Good thing I didn't wear makeup today.
Is this a good idea?
What was that voice I just heard?
Okay, where are you bringing the corpse?
I see you.
Well, maybe not a corpse, but somebody in severe need of, urgent care.
Intensive care?
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
The intensive care ward is mostly empty. There are 2 rooms with people in them, room 304 and 303.
Well, I guess we'll check out 303 first. Injured person?
All right. Yeah, just talking to this.
Kay does not say anything. She is acting.
So you get up there and you see that there is a young boy who's lying in the bed there with an IV or 2 put into him.
How do they do this? There's a clipboard.
Oh,
Chart.
there is a clipboard by his bed.
What's the clipboard say?
It says the doctor is Dr. Solazio, and he is being treated by well, do you have medicine skill?
No, but I know someone who does.
Does Kay have medicine skill?
I have first aid, not medicine.
What? Who had medicine then?
I thought it was
That
you.
would be JB.
Fuck.
I'm pretty sure JB is the one with medicine.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Well,
We're really good at this.
We are.
perhaps somebody who is knowledgeable about medicine could have come to the hospital,
Hey, you know the thing about clipboards?
Fuck.
Pretty portable.
Okay.
Are you gonna steal this? At least
They
just...
probably have other backups.
Does it at least say the kid's name?
It says Alexi.
Last name given?
No last name.
Oh, that's conspicuous.
Also, there is nothing listed for where you should write parent or guardian. That is also not listed on the form.
Also conspicuous.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking. You know how when they write bills and stuff, there's a sheet of paper on the bottom that duplicates whatever you write on top?
Ooh. I could absolutely spend preparedness for carbon paper. That seems right up a detective's alley.
Yeah. I was gonna suggest I could spend preparedness, but yeah, if you have preparedness, go right ahead.
The thing about that is that the thing that copies it is actually the pressure of writing in the first place.
It's already been written, is the issue.
You can just like retrace it with a broken pencil or something.
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
even your fingernail?
There you go.
Okay. This won't be the greatest copy ever made.
Absolutely
But it
not.
should. Hopefully, somebody with medical skill will be able to discern what all of this means. The child sort of looks up at you, by the way, when you've come in, and says, "What? You look different."
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Oh my god.
This child is clearly, like, in a drugged state. If you want to talk to him, you'll need to get him to tell a story. You'll need some sort of skill if you want to talk to him.
Well, Legsy, you want to ask the kid some questions? It's Legsy the clown. We brought her here to entertain you.
Oh my god. Fuck. Sure. I mean, I lean into it. I spring up, do jazz hand, then do surprise.
What?
Can I have like a water bottle on me?
You mean a seltzer bottle?
Oh, those were glass, weren't they? Plastic bottles weren't a thing. Fuck.
Yeah.
Can't do a squeezy flower thingy. You know, squeezy
Okay.
flower clowns have that. Anyway,
No, I know what you're doing. I don't know if you have clowning supplies with you, is the issue.
I have athletics. Can I do a cartwheel?
Sure.
Yay! The dancing doctor. What's my difficulty?
Oh, you're rolling for difficulty 3.
Okay.
To do a cartwheel, well, cartwheels are actually quite hard.
Yeah. Yay!
That's a 4.
I do a decent cartwheel.
All right, you do a cartwheel. The kid is still drugged up and confused, and it seems to have accomplished nothing. But congratulations, you've done a cartwheel.
All right, I'll leave you to the kid. I'll check the next room.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
That
I mean-
is a very Collin Kane thing to do.
I mean, I guess I've talked to the kid. You go on.
Okay.
You do have interpersonal skills, right?
Flattery, yes.
Is that the only one?
Well, only one that matters here. That and assess honesty. I suppose assess honesty is... Okay, never mind. Go check. Go do
Yeah, I don't know if you have any interpersonal skills that's going to get this kid to help you. Though, just looking at his body as you're looking a little bit closer, he has bite marks.
What? Like
He has
Animal?
bite marks on his arms and legs and torso.
animal bite marks?
Well, not really. No, they look more like human bite marks.
Fuck.
Okay, I'm gonna do something funny, and I'm gonna make the kid laugh. How old's the kid, by the way?
I don't know. He's like 10.
10? Perfect. I do armpit farts.
He's really out of it.
Fuck.
Sorry. Meanwhile, in the next room, this one, room 304, you go inside and there's another very sick boy in bed. It says on his chart, Monty Donovan Jr.
Ah, there we go.
Oh, there it is.
He is also befuddled, dazed, and drugged out of all sense and reasons. You hear him muttering, "Mummy. I want my mummy."
Yeah, we'll bring your mother by as soon as you answer a couple questions.
Looking at his chart, looks like he is overseen by the same doctor. And you're not an expert in this sort of thing, but it looks like some of the treatment they're getting is the same, and some of it is not the same.
You'll probably be able to discern more if you talk to someone with medicine.
Yeah. Make a copy of his chart, too.
Okay.
Then on the way out, I'll swap them.
Oh, you're gonna leave the shitty chart?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
Perfect.
Why would you?
Oh, I get the feeling that this kid's getting better treatment because he's got more money.
Oh, you're going to swap them just to... I mean, their names are on the forms, is the thing.
Doesn't hurt to try.
He is even less coherent than Alexi in the next room. This kid is not going to talk to you at all.
Unfortunate.
He, however, does not have bite marks all over his body, so that's nice.
Okay. Well, I'm going to make sure that Kay stops in this room, just in case she needs to see it for anything. But other than that, I'm not going to try too hard to get an insensate kid to talk to me.
Okay.
That's, that's for the best.
Do you want to try to talk to the orphan boy?
Sure.
I mean, I don't know if you have any skills to try to get him to talk to you, but...
Hey, Alexi. Have you ever heard the story of the dread tyrant Legsy?
What skill are you using?
Oral history.
Okay, so that's not what oral history is. Oral history is getting somebody to tell you their stories, which is actually what you want to do here. But I don't know if the way you do that is, do you want to hear about a pirate?
Well, we're swapping stories.
I guess.
I'm going to spend a point.
You don't need to spend a point. You get it.
I'm going to spend a point. This story's taking the better part of the afternoon.
Okay.
You have what? I'm not there. I'm not there.
Well, while they're telling stories, can I get a look at this boy's friggin' teeth, please? Do they match up with the bites? Like, are they self-inflicted bites?
Oh, no. They're not self-inflicted bites, no.
Huh. Alrighty.
Yeah.
All I needed to know. Thank you.
The bites themselves seem to be maybe from different mouths. The bite marks seem different, slightly different.
Look, it's not that we know what happened, but we can play the tape through.
He eventually recounts, I was fishing down near Newcastle Drive. Around the warehouse there's this big warehouse. And I moved to seek out the fishes. And then the ground, it bit me.
Fuck.
I tried to run, but there were teeth and mouths everywhere. I fell down into them, and I thought, and then somebody came and dragged me clear, and I woke up here.
Well, that's terrifying. I regret asking you for your story now.
What? You're just gonna
Hang on. When was that? Do you remember when it was?
No, not really. Recently, looking at the chart, it looks like it was within, I guess, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. I suppose he doesn't remember who exactly pulled him out.
Yeah, he was busy being bitten when that happened.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Back on the stretcher, Legsy. Time to get out of here. That's right. You remember the Legsy from the story? Same one. She used to be a pirate. She's a clown now.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
You should probably get out of there before you get visitors.
Yeah, I get on the stretcher. I look at Collin from under the sheet, and I'm like, Mr. Kane.
I think you mean Mr. Michael.
Mr. Michael, please stop calling me Lexi.
But that's your fake name. Your alias. We all decided.
You and the inhabitants of your head.
You know, alias. Oh, you should be Jennifer Gardner. That's who you should be if we're looking for an alias.
Why?
She was the star of the television program Alias.
Aww.
Okay, so over at the dock.
Good save, buddy. Great save.
So, since I was in the military, I think it would make sense for me to have some binoculars, no?
You could have binoculars. It's fine. We also established that you guys have binoculars. It was a preparedness check at one point, but you guys have binoculars now.
Oakley dokley. I guess we're just finding, at least at first, a place to surreptitiously scope out the yacht from afar.
Okay.
What do our surroundings look like?
You actually can see that the yacht is actually anchored not like at a dock or anything. It's just anchored in the water off the coast. You actually realize maybe you could see it from the window of that manor house. And as you're spying it with your binoculars, it appears that no one is on it.
Interesting.
Good to know.
In fact, we could maybe go over to it right now.
We could do that.
We could. I guess my big concern is the fact that it's not just that people from the yacht could see us going to the yacht, it's that people on shore could see us going to the yacht. Is it actually like a swimmable distance?
Athletics difficulty 5.
Fuck that.
I think we should probably stick with the plan of going there under the cover of darkness. What's the boat traffic around this area looking like?
It's actually kind of in the way out there. If you have any knowledge of like shipping lanes and harbor practices, it's kind of in the way, but it floats out there all the same.
Maybe we could get to there during the daytime and make it just look like we're,
You want to grab a boat and be proactive?
fuck it, let's go.
All right. So we're looking to buy a boat.
Okay, you can get a boat nice and easy. Credit rating 3 or higher to rent a boat. But if you have the credit rating, you'll need to spend one of your points just for now to rent a boat.
I'll do that. I have credit rating 4.
Okay.
All right. Boy, that's sad that the Private Eye has a better credit rating than the actual published author of many books.
Ex-military person. So, like, part of it
True.
is, military pension.
Well, actually, right now, you're not really getting your bonus. It's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
But that's a conversation for another time. Like, the veterans are marching during the Great Depression, being like, hey, give us the money you owe us. Maybe I was going to say you invested wisely, but I don't know. What must it be like to be living in a Great Depression? Who knows? Maybe we'll find out soon.
I hope we don't have to, but probably.
So, you hop on a boat and sail over to the yacht. Just get a little motorboat. There's a surly-looking guy who rents you the boat. His name's Stan. Do you guys give your own names, or do you give fake names for the rental?
Oh, obviously we're going to give fake names.
Great. Okay, perfect. And you make your way out to the boat. And as you're approaching it, it does not appear that anybody is on the boat. So that's good.
So, with the way it's anchored, can the manor house see, like, one side of it? Or is it, like, parked straight on towards the manor house?
The manor house could see one side of it.
So we could, in theory, hide our boat in the shadow of the yacht.
Exactly.
We're geniuses.
I'm going to need you to, because turns out the yacht is occasionally checked on by people that are watching it. I'm going to need you to make a difficulty 5 stealth check.
I can do that.
It would have been 6, but you said, oh, we're going to hide our boats and stuff, so I'll give you 1 more.
This is kind of important, so I'm going to spend 3 points on this, actually.
All right. Just don't fuck up.
I rolled a 9 in total.
Fuck
Okay,
yeah.
great. So you are going to need to spend 1 more point because you have your friend with you.
Okay, I can do that.
Can I spend that point? Because I've got some spare points of stealth.
You know what? Sure. I don't know if that's quite how the rule works, but I'll let you do that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So the yacht itself is not particularly large. It's got 3 modest cabins, a galley, and a sitting room.
Whoa.
There's also some seating available on the deck.
Good. That means this won't take too long to search.
I would like to check the galley first.
All right. There's a bar down in the galley,
Score!
but it's dry. Row after row of empty bottles suggests not that it has been cleaned out for storage, but that somebody here drank it all. There are unwashed glasses, mugs, and cups scattered everywhere, some broken bottles. It seems like somebody might have been having...
A bender?
Signs of a party.
The way it looks more that one person was doing most of this drinking.
A party for one is still a party.
Fair.
That's just a sad
I
party.
just get the impression this person wasn't having a very good time of it.
It's their party. They can cry if they want to.
Okay. Yes.
Does evidence collection get me anything more than that?
Not in the galley.
Alrighty. Do I notice anything with my knowledge of the occult? Like, does it look like there are sigils, signs, wards, or anything like that in the galley or throughout the galley?
There is something painted in an almost clear liquid. This is combined with your evidence collection is letting you get this. And you actually notice that they are all near little things that are sticking out of the wall. What are these? JB, your knowledge of art recognizes these as mountings for paintings. So it looks like there were symbols covered up by paintings scattered around the boat, painted in a mostly clear liquid. And they are wards against witchcraft and magic.
Do we want to know what the liquid is?
Do you have chemistry or
I'm not there.
or
I
pharmacy?
don't. I have pharmacy, though.
Ah.
Pharmacy, okay. There's something in here that's watered down quite a bit. This looks like this is mostly water and some sort of chemical that you don't recognize. In fact, it looks like nothing you've ever seen before. It's got a slightly yellowish tinge, though.
Put it in your mouth, JP.
Just the fact that I don't know what it is a pretty significant clue in and of itself.
I mean, I don't know. Is there any sort of, like, weird chemicals that might be around?
I can think of one.
Put it in your mouth, JP.
I can think of one.
Does it really classify as a chemical, though? Isn't it more of a secretion?
Things can secrete chemicals.
Technically, everything is made of chemicals, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
My chemicals are chemical free.
This stuff was definitely painted on with nectar.
Watered down nectar, but...
Heavily watered down nectar, yes.
Yeah.
And these are apparently are awards against witchcraft and magic. Does it look like any of the wards are damaged at all?
No.
Okay.
Well, there are a few other rooms in this boat.
Yeah. There are 2 cabins that you assume must be for guests. They are bedrooms that are decorated with, like, generic nautical tchotchkes.
Huh.
And the closets are empty. And then you find one with a larger bed, and the closet is full of dresses. A ton of dresses.
So this was Portia's boat.
Maybe Mr. Donovan is a crossdresser.
That's also possible.
Maybe this was Penny's boat.
I guess we can't assume anything, but
Do you think you would have anything that could identify these dresses?
maybe art history?
Not.
Do you still
Yeah.
have the picture from the newspaper?
We got geology, but fashion isn't a skill.
I mean, it might be under craft. Art is good. You know what? That picture that you mentioned, one of these is the dress that Mrs. Donovan was wearing in that picture.
Okay, there it is, yeah.
Also, in the back of the closet, there's a case.
Interesting.
A guitar case.
Is it empty?
No. Do you want to open it?
I don't like the way you phrased that. Sure, let's open it.
You open it up, and inside is a Spanish-made guitar.
You motherfucker. You son of a... Anything special about it, or it's just a nice guitar?
It's just a nice guitar.
Aw, no loose discos, nothing?
Guess I'll leave that then.
This is, of course, a 3-point sanity loss if you fail a check.
No.
I mean, it's not out of character for me personally to have random panic attacks over nothing, but I like to think JP is made of sterner stuff.
In general, just as you're looking around, it looks like pretty much anything valuable has been taken out of this yacht. You see there's plenty of stuff like the art that must have been here. They're like empty shelves and stuff like that. It seems like this place has mostly been cleared out of valuables.
Probably when she passed, if I had to guess.
Yep. Besides that, I mean, you could try to pilot the yacht, I suppose.
I see no advantage in doing that.
So all the valuables have been removed.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, some of those dresses might get you a little bit of money if you find somebody who would want to buy them, but...
Well,
And
yeah, it's not
guitars are
necessar-
not cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's not necessarily where I was going with that.
I know.
Does it look like somebody tried to clean up a crime scene? Specifically
Ooh.
using conceal.
That's a good thought, but that does not appear to be what is here.
Okay.
Looking around, you are pretty sure that they're not covering up us. Like, nobody was murdered here.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah.
there might have been, like, sex parties here or something, but, like, there's no, like, blood that has been covered up or anything like that.
Yeah, I've got forensics, so on a similar, like, thought process, everything of value was taken. Does it look like in the burglary and theft way, or just in the we're clearing out a dead person's stuff way?
Well, if they were really robbing the thing, they probably would have taken at least the guitar.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, so this looks like it was cleaned out of the valuables, but not by a robbery. Looking at it, you could tell very recently it was cleared of all valuables and somebody did a lot of drinking.
Yeah, this is a dead person boat.
All right. On that lovely line, it looks like both of your investigations have been relatively successful. I would say there's nothing much left on the yacht.
Yeah.
Is there anything else the other two want to do at the hospital? I will note it's becoming around 1:30.
Uh-oh.
Or no, it's 12:30. If it was 1:30, Donovan would already be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Booting it.
Do you call me Lexi?
Yeah,
From under the sheet, I punch you in the elbow.
that's right. Well, if you don't like the name, then you have to think of a better one.
All right. Hi, this is Daniel, and I'm here for a sad announcement. After 2 years of Daniel's Dread Tales, we're going to have to start asking you for money. You see, we all have day jobs, and as we continue to work to improve the show, the expenses do add up. We've upgraded 3 mics, a few computer components, and got ourselves a website, just to name a few things. And throughout this entire time, Nathan's laptop has been making truly concerning noises. So when it eventually explodes,
Past tense. Laptop has exploded.
we might not be able to hear from Nathan for a while. So please check out our donate link, which is on our link tree. We would really appreciate if you donate. Though, if you'd like not to donate, we love all our listeners equally. Maybe we like the ones who give us money a little bit more, though. Come on, you know.
Hey Paul, would you say that you are haunted by nightmares of the things that have happened on the Crow's Codex?
I occasionally have some difficult dreams that come up. Most of those are associated with the most recent story.
Anything in particular with most recent story that's really haunted you?
The time where there were more mouths than we expected, or more eyes than we expected, or more eyes in mouths than we expected. It's hard to narrow it down.
Was it the fish with human teeth?
It's definitely up there.
If any of these things sound horrible to you, you can find them and more on the Crow's Codex, now part of the Imaginary Broadcast Network. It's as real as you want it to be.
And you, I assume, meet up again?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep. The other team is probably going to be a little surprised that we were like, fuck it, we figured we could actually get away with investigating the boat, so we did.
Yeah, the plan originally was we're gonna be ready to sneak onto a boat. Instead, you're just like, oh yeah, no, we did it already.
Well, the opportunity presented itself.
I don't think Collin would be surprised. Collin has worked with Reg in the past.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
If a stakeout
Alright.
can be avoided, Reg will usually take that option.
Yeah. More time for drinking.
JB was surprised, at least, and he was part of the plan.
So when we meet up, first of all, we should probably share the boys' charts with JB.
Alexi was the one with the bite marks, and the other one was probably Donovan's kid, on account of they share a last name.
That's usually how that works.
And first,
And his name was Montgomery Donovan Jr.
It'd be quite a coincidence.
Of course, he did the rich person thing.
something that bothered me about this Alexei child. His exact words, I believe, were "the ground bit me." He was fishing, I think, a couple of weeks ago over by the warehouse.
You know, when we were staking out the warehouse, wasn't there a very specific path that everyone was trying to stay on? Like, nobody stepped off the path at all?
That there was.
So maybe it's not landmines, it's land mouths?
Land mouths.
When we end up going there, do not go on the grass.
That's a good conclusion. JB, if you had access to these charts straight away, you would have just been able to read them and understand them. Because of the unique circumstances that you were finding yourself in, I'm going to need you to spend a point of medicine to examine.
Alright, I've only got the one, but honestly, I don't see myself using a point of medicine for much else. So, hit me.
Alexi's chart describes a mess of overlapping drugs and flailing treatments. Actually, the things he's being treated with are not the things that you would treat somebody who has bite marks. There are scars of the bite marks that are still on this child's body, but they have healed over, and the treatments that are being given to him are not for that. They're for some other disease, I guess, but he's being treated for an illness he shows no symptoms for. And included in there, you recognize many of the things that he's being treated with, but there is one thing that is being listed as N that he is being treated with as well.
Yeah.
I think Donovan's a monster.
Meanwhile, Montgomery Donovan Jr. is also getting a overlapping mess of treatments, drugs, and would-be remedies. It seems to be almost exactly the same things that the orphan Alexi is getting. And actually, as you trace it, it seems that Alexi gets them one day, And then, once they observe the effects, they are given to Montgomery Jr.
That's a dick move.
The chart paints the picture of a mysterious illness and a doctor in over their head. This child is getting periodic doses of something labeled N as well, and he's also getting something called the special treatment. But again, nothing seems to be helping.
Well, it looks like we maybe found our research subjects.
Yeah.
Let me,
Looking at, I mean, you're able to put it together, I assume, but if not,
Yeah.
I'll be explicit. They're testing stuff on Alexi first.
Yeah.
Before
Yep.
they give it to Montgomery.
An innocent orphan wanders into their landmine zone, gets bitten, they take him up to the ICU, and once he's been treated for the bites, they start using him as the test subject for Donovan's son to treat something real and unknown. Shit.
Are they being treated? Like, is there even a disease?
That is a good question. What symptoms, if any, are listed for Montgomery Jr.?
It's sort of a wasting disease. It seems to be a little unclear exactly what it is, but they're lethargic, they're befuddled, their body seems to just be slowly failing them. You'd almost say it was like a cancer, but it's not a cancer. You know, they've done their checks. It just seems to be...
No signs of tumors. He's just dying.
He's slowly wasting away.
Hey, JB, does it say in there when he started with the symptoms? Like when he started getting sick?
He was checked in a little under a month ago.
Dun dun dun!
Fun.
That doesn't feel like a coincidence.
Nah, not at all.
Well, what would it mean?
I don't know.
It happened after whatever happened to his mother,
Yeah,
which presumably involved a mouth.
we can only assume.
Yep.
Yeah, it coincides around the time that they made the mouth happy.
They made the mouth happy. Portia mysteriously disappears and dies. His son gets sick with something mysterious and terminal. Either Donovan's having, like, the worst day of his life, or he's the biggest bastard we've ever met.
I don't think those are mutually exclusive.
Fair enough. Whatever this is, it's definitely his fault.
Undoubtedly.
I'm not sure how it all works. And I kind of look at Reggie as the de facto expert. My worry is that Monty Donovan is not being treated for anything, but rather they're trying to turn him into something.
I mean, that is also a possibility. That being said, if the timeline matches up like it seems to, I think the sacrifice that was made has something to do with Portia.
That much I'm inclined to agree.
What if it got them both?
I was just getting to that. I think what is happening to Montgomery's son is, at the very least, unforeseen back, or part of the sacrifice was made was to change his son, and it didn't go the way he expected.
Especially since there's the special treatment that's listed on his medical charts that you would think getting the mysterious N substance would be the special treatment, since I'm now 80% certain that means that they're using nectar in the treatment. But if the nectar isn't the special treatment, then what the hell else are they doing to this kid?
That is a very good question.
Well, if we want answers, it might be time to enact our great big joke.
What joke?
The one we keep telling Kearns about.
The kidnapping, but it's just
Yeah.
a joke.
I'm laughing already.
Right.
Right, plausible deniability kidnapping.
Yeah. In Minecraft. Is that a thing people say when you're joking about something? You say you're doing it in Minecraft? Or
No.
am I? Never mind. Let's move on. I guess that if it sounds like it's time to kidnap this guy, and that does seem like a solid idea, the question is,
Does it?
how are you going to do it?
Well, I think the first thing we should figure out is where we're holding them.
Definitely.
On the plane?
Bad idea. That's our way home.
Loath as I am to admit it, this magic stuff seems to maybe be in effect. We might have ways of bringing people to our doorstep in that case.
I mean, you could probably find an abandoned building.
Step 1. We locate an abandoned place to hold him.
Hey, Collin, you want to find us a place where we can hold him? I want to check one more thing out.
Yeah, I've been hearing about an old abandoned circus that comes alive at night. I'll go check that out tonight.
What skill would you use to find an abandoned building? Anybody?
Accounting!
No. How about the catacombs, though?
Accounting would do it.
Accounting?
Yeah.
Accounting, I suppose if you're going over, like, the records of, like, businesses that have gone bankrupt, you'd have to go to, like, the City Hall records again.
Yeah.
But we've done that once before.
And Collin has photographic memory.
Well, you could just go back there.
Well, that's kind of where Reg was planning on going.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you guys can go together.
There you go.
I don't know what Reg was going to look up, but...
Meanwhile, I think I have an idea on how to perpetrate the kidnapping itself. Because we know the one time that he's separated from his guards is when he's visiting his wife's grave.
I mean, there's more times than that.
There's also the hospital room, which Kay is now being inside of.
Exactly. I have seen that hospital room. That means I can't believe I'm saying this, hyperspace gate in there.
Hear me out, though. If we ambush him in the graveyard, you don't have to hyperspace gate in to kidnap him. Instead, we hyperspace gate out to get out of there without going past his guards.
Out of character, does it say that I have to go through the gate alone, or can I take others with me?
So here's the thing. You're not super sure. You know what I mean? Like, you haven't done this yet. If you really want to know the details of it, you probably need to do, like, a test casting. But that in and of itself is probably dangerous. But you will open a gate.
Okay.
Usually you can take more than one person through a gate.
You can take... Oh, yeah. You could take things through the gate.
Things.
Yeah. And people. Yeah.
And then when they come out the other side, they just never stop screaming. Win-win.
This isn't Blades
Okay.
in the Dark.
Kay and Renee are gonna write a list of things that we need to know for sure about Hyperspace Gate.
Okay, here's my plan. If this is a bad plan, please feel free to tell me. But my thought is, we jump the guy in the graveyard, and then we take him out through a hyperspace gate. If the hyperspace gate only allows, like, him and Kay through, the rest of us just leave the graveyard and pretend we had been paying our respects too.
One of the things I want to see is if we can potentially escape that graveyard through the catacombs. If there's an entrance there, then we might be able to use that to get us the time to either get away or have Kay set up her teleport gate.
Okay. So now you have a place to look for catacomb stuff?
Yes, now I have a place to look for a potential entrance.
Interesting. I'm going to say, with accounting, by the way, there's a couple abandoned buildings, anywhere you would need them to be.
Perfect.
And if Kay goes to any of those, then that is a place that she now has stored for,
The other thing, let's see. Reggie, is there a skill you would use for analyzing all of these blueprints?
Architecture?
Yay.
You know what? Yeah, that makes sense. Could you spend me a point of architecture?
I can.
All right. Then I'm going to give you something big.
Oh my.
You find evidence of a tunnel that goes right underneath that graveyard. Now, there is stone in the catacomb that would separating it from the earth above it in the garden. But you are able to find one. And you know what? You should be able to get into it through a nearby abandoned building. You might need to do some excavation work. But some digging, you could get in.
It really is in Minecraft.
But excavation isn't a skill.
Geology.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Now,
and explosives.
Now, that would be time-consuming. Well, maybe not the explosives part, but that would be one way to approach this. There's also the use of a gate. Maybe there's another thing you could do. I don't know.
I would like to test the gate first.
Grave robbing. Nope. No grave
How
robbing.
do you intend to test the gate?
From the comfort of my own hotel room.
Okay.
Oh,
Is
God.
anybody joining you for it?
Oh, we gotta draw straws for that.
Actually, I wouldn't mind if all of us joined me for it.
I have a feeling that we might.
All right, fine.
At the very least, I will come along.
Sure. Can we say that we're back at the hotel?
Yeah, you're back at the hotel.
Okay. Okay. Here's some things being the researcher that I am, here's some things that I need to know. First, can I take people through and how many? Second, are they okay afterwards? 3, how quickly does the gate close? Do I have to be the last one through it? How does closing it work? Can I control it at all?
Can it be closed?
Can it be closed? Yeah. And number 4, can I take an unwilling person? Like, do they have to step in of their own free will? I don't know. It just weirdly feels like it matters.
Well, that one might be hard to test, but I can tell you right now, I'm not going through there.
I wink at JB and Reg. Okay, so I ask one more question of my companions. Where should I, suppose, direct the gate to?
Let's keep it simple for this test. My room.
Okay.
Because, like,
So?
it's a pretty, it's like a, it's a place you've been.
Yeah.
So it fulfills that requirement, and it's locked, notably. So no chance of somebody walking in on us in the middle of testing out a magic spell.
All right.
Okay, and Kay is going to be the one doing it. Kay, do you have physics skills?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I almost took it, and then I didn't.
That's fine. Knowledge of physics would make this a little easier. So you're going to need to draw this up somewhere.
We're not getting our deposit back.
I draw on the wall probably would make sense, so we would, like, walk through it. Yeah, that makes
Okay.
sense.
You're going to need to, like, push the bed away from the wall to, like, make room.
So, is there a full-length mirror in this room?
Ooh,
Sure.
that's a nice idea.
Does Kay have lipstick?
Yep. I know where you're going with that. Sure. Yeah.
All right, team.
I trace the inside of the mirror with my lipstick.
Oh, don't use your own. You can take some from my disguise kit.
All
No,
right.
you save that for the next time you're disguised as a clown.
It's going to take about an hour to do it.
Oh,
Yes.
alrighty.
To inscribe it. If you had knowledge of physics, you could get it done in about 10 minutes. And if you spent a point of physics, you could get it done in a minute. If you ever need to, like,
Wow.
really
Oh, yeah.
fucking get a portal going.
Okay, well, I know what I'm buying next time I level up.
Accounting?
Sure.
I think you've got accounting handled.
It's just really the most useful skill.
Damn.
Okay,
I've got physics, but I don't have magic, so...
Well, it's your turn to read a book
For
tonight,
health
JB.
doubled per increment of distance, continental, global, interplanetary, interstellar, and intergalactic.
So this is going to be a
So I
continental.
either lose 2 stability or
cast.
4 health.
But first you need to make a test. A difficulty 5 stability test.
Oh, fun.
Yikes.
What's
Okay.
the loss on this?
This is to succeed or fail.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I see.
Well,
so you
shit.
can increase your chances of succeeding.
By spending,
spending
stability.
And then you will also need to just spend 2 stability or 4 health, even after you succeed.
Okay.
So Kay is in her room, and you guys are in there with her, and she's inscribing bizarre symbols all over this mirror.
I'm spending 2 stability. 2 stability to aid the roll. There you go.
Okay? Make your roll.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Yes! Didn't need to spend.
That's a 7.
Yay.
Nice.
Okay. Now you will need to spend 2 stability to sacrifice your mind, or 4 health to sacrifice your body to complete the ritual. Oh, for each 4 health points spent from the caster's pool, lose 1 point from the caster's health rating.
Ooh.
Oof.
Oh.
Yikes.
Yikes on bikes. Wow. Does the same go for stability or
No.
Okay.
I don't want to be a 4 stability though.
4 stability or 2 maximum health?
It would just be 1 maximum health.
Oh,
but-
sorry, 1 maximum health.
And the maximum health is forever.
Yes. That would mean that you're sacrificing part of your body to make the spell work.
Couple fingers.
I feel like
you
we
know.
should save that one for emergencies.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm gonna spend the stability, so I'm at 4 stability right now.
All right. What does this look like?
The gate? As it opens?
All of this leading up to the opening of the gate. What does this look like? What is Kay doing? I know I'm sort of vaguely describing it, but I want you, if you're down. So this is like, you're invoking magic. None of you here have seen magic before. By the way, you guys are all going to need to, well, Kay's already made a stability test, but some of you are going to need to make separate stability tests in just a moment. But
Even
what
after
do
we've
you
seen the
imagine
mouth?
this looks like? Yes, you've seen mouths, but this is another spooky thing you're seeing.
Are we going to
I
have to make a
think-
stability test every time we see Kay open a portal? Because at some point it's going to be old hat.
Well, there's a difference between seeing something for the first time and then seeing it not for the first time in terms
Okay.
of stability check.
That is fair.
Suck it, mouths.
Yeah.
Wait, don't do it.
Oh no.
Don't suck the mouths.
Yeah, don't suck anything, mouths.
I think the little tube of lipstick feels heavy and cold in my hand. It's a rose red by Max Factor, one of those new swiveling tubes, a dime a piece. William got it for me on a whim, even though I hate the feeling of my hair stuck on the pesky film of garish-colored grease. I used it exactly once to humor him and never touched it again. Never again. Not since he... At any rate, it seems oddly fitting, like things have come full circle. I pop the cap, put the lipstick against the smooth surface, and then the pain comes. My eyes are two orbs of pure white heat going nova in my skull. What starts as a scream of agony in my chest bursts out in a throaty primal chant of the mostly bowels. I give them voice, breath, life. I sing them into existence as my hand traces the unfathomable shapes around the mirror's edge. The room fades out of reality, consumed by a light that is both scorching and bone-shatteringly cold, like the unfriendly void of outer space. My friend's stunned faces become a blur. I think someone is crying out. Is it me? I find it hard to care. Pain becomes insignificant as the final surgical stroke of Max Factor rose red dissects the very flesh of the universe. And through the cut, I started to make out the bloody contours of the next one. Which does bear a striking resemblance to JB's room.
This mystical, crazy shit to see an incredibly boring hotel room. But I will need to have everybody, not Kay, but you guys are going to need to make difficulty 4 stability checks with a loss of 3.
Oh boy.
I will spend 1.
I passed.
So I rolled a 6. And yeah, basically, as soon as the surface stops rippling, Reggie is just gonna go and grab Collin and be like, "Okay, time to go through," and start
What?
pushing
No,
him,
it's not my time.
and start pushing him towards the portal.
Okay.
It's a small mirror. I'm not going to fit.
What about you, Collin? What'd you roll?
I rolled a 6.
Well, congratulations. You are not rocked too much by this. And what about you, JB?
So I failed my stability test.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of like looking at it stunned for a solid second. Like I knew this was coming, but Jesus fucking Christ.
Now, now looking at it as it's messing with your sanity, are you afraid of it or are you in awe of it?
I guess in awe would be closer.
Okay.
Is it taking me any effort at all to keep the gate open?
You are thinking about it. Focused and thinking and still sort of chanting about the gate. You didn't even realize at first that you were muttering words in a language you don't even know as you keep this gate open.
Is the language mostly vowels?
Yeah, you know.
I know.
It's a concentration spell.
The
grunt of disappointment.
Love you too, Dan.
So you shoved a person through, and did you go with them? Are Collin and Reginald? Did they both go through?
Oh yeah. Reggie's following
Okay.
Collin through.
As you take the step through, it's like you're just stepping through, as if it was just right there. However, as you step through, you realize that the hairs on your body are like standing up. And not because it's spooky, but because legitimately it was so cold. It was only for like an instant. but it was impossibly cold for just an instant.
Don't want to stay in there too long.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's space.
Now I won't be able to stop thinking in portals.
So if we want to test if K
This
has
was
to
a
be-
triumph. I'm making a note right here. Huge
Yay.
success.
Yay.
Jokes. Okay.
It's hard to overstate my satisfaction.
Since we wanted to test if K needed to be the last person through, once those two are through, relatively unharmed, then K should go through, and I'm going to see if I can follow after, or if I just walk into a mirror.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I walk through.
Okay.
And I walk through afterwards.
You all walk through. Yeah.
Okay.
Good science, team.
Okay, I look back at it and I attempt to close it.
You're going to force yourself to stop chanting?
Yeah, I'm gonna think at it, close, and attempt to stop the spell.
It closes.
How is everybody?
I'm
I don't appreciate being manhandled.
I mean, we needed to see if we were able to take an unwilling person through.
Oh. Alright, I get it.
Great work, Mr. Kilworth.
It's what I do.
I appreciate it.
I suppose as long as you're not doing the other stuff you do to me.
That's for later.
Whoa, hey, you okay? I mean, I thought we had something, Collin, but I see how it is.
I still can't get the thought of that man stuffed in that safe out of my head. Wonder if they ever found him.
I would love to stay here and listen, but I mean, I kind of imagine that it took a toll on me.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, you lost 4 stability.
What does force stability look like?
Sort of
Let's
reddish
see.
blue.
I think there's like a direct explanation of what that might look like. Let me see. You don't really start getting fucked up until you hit 0.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're probably a little twitchy.
I'd imagine I feel like I haven't slept for 2 days straight.
Yeah.
Which isn't far from the truth.
Yeah, I mean, Kay operates in mysterious ways.
Let's see. It says role-playing instability. On a 3 or 4 point loss, you might have to stop a bit and hyperventilate. You're blinking a lot, maybe sweating too. If you talk, you might run away with your own words. Keep doing something comforting. Rack the slide of the shotgun, hum a Miskatonic fight song, that kind of thing. That will see you through this.
Okay.
You don't have to use that, but that's the example that they give.
Was that the fucking Star Trek fight theme?
No, it's the Miskatonic fight theme. Completely different.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just grab my and my husband's wedding rings that are on the chain around my neck and just start pulling at them.
Do you return to your room?
Yes, I'm feeling a bit nauseous. I think I better go lie down,
All right.
if you excuse me.
The mirror there still has all the symbols drawn on it. But you see there's a slight crack at the bottom of the mirror now.
Oh. Noted.
However, you realize you could probably use this mirror again, and it would be less of a drain on your sanity. Or stability.
All right, sweet.
Oh yeah,
we're keeping
there was
their
something.
mirror.
Yeah, I guess we're keeping their mirror. Yeah. I was just thinking of like giving one of you some money and like sending you to the receptionist or something.
Nah, too complicated.
Why do anything when what you're doing can be solved with theft?
So when Kay leaves the room, Reginald is just going to look at JB and Collin and say, well, it looks like we're probably done for the day. I'll be in my room. I have some reading I need to do.
So do I.
What you going for tonight, JP?
Good question. All right.
I almost feel like we should start a theme song. Which horrible book are you going to read tonight?
Yeah, I
can come up
feel
with
like
some.
I'm playing Russian roulette, TBH. Like, I don't know which of these is going to do something terrible to me. They all sound awful.
That's the fun part. None of us do.
I guess also, Kay, do you plan to read anything tonight, or do you think you're probably good?
Please sleep. Please just sleep.
I probably no, I think I'm good for now. I have 4 stability. I'm gonna save it for the
it occurs to me
next
that
time.
I have 3 stability, so I shouldn't do this, but
you should.
But I will anyway.
Ooh, look at the fancy investigators with all their stability. I've got 2.
I have the most stability out of all of us with 9 at the moment.
Haha.
How the fuck did that happen?
Rich McGee over there.
Anyway, the cradle in the ocean sounds suitably horrible.
Do you want to skim it, or do you want to read it deeply?
Ooh, deeply.
Don't say it like that.
Fuck it. Let's read. Let's go. Let's pour.
Okay.
Drink deep and descend. We're playing Lancer. We're not actually playing Lancer. I'd have to be the GM, and there's so much GM prep.
The Cradle in the Ocean is a weird book. It's seemingly nonsensical, but deeply disturbing. It's a children's book, which recounts bizarre tales of the folk hero Paul Bunyan. The stories include, and they're all told in like a bizarre broken pose, Paul wrestling with Shepherd Death, whose scythe Tegath Klatar is repeatedly described as sly-angled, and the sly-angled scythe eventually cuts down Paul Bunyan, leaving a vivid red mark at the heart of a web of crimson which spreads across Paul Bunyan's chest.
An American classic.
For kids.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Honestly, just everything, it's a lot of cause and effect, like Paul does something and then something bad happens to him. It's really a bunch of bad things happening to Paul Bunyan. A lot of ocean imagery, but the idea is that the ocean is actually a wall, and behind that wall lies an imprisoned being, imprisoned behemoth, referred to both as the prisoner and the liar.
The liar, you say?
The liar features also in a story called The Saffron Bee, where Paul tries to steal honey from a colony of giant bees, whose hive is as big as a mountain. But the liar is held by the lie of false history, of a causality that cannot be. And though Paul gains the honey, he is supposed to be getting the honey to give to the liar, but then when he leaves, he realizes that the liar never existed, or maybe the liar lied about having existed in the first place. It's kind of unclear as you're reading it. There are no mechanical effects from reading this book.
Oh, thank God. Woo!
Yes.
I mean, I guess it would have been cool to learn a spell, but, whatever.
You didn't go crazy.
I didn't go crazy. I'll take it.
Reggie is reading The Womb of the Black Stone, since it is related to the previous book that he had read.
Remind our audience how that connects.
There were some notes in there that identified the Black Stone, that curious, sinister monolith that broods among the mountains of Hungary, as the spikes of the world of his world and the ladders of fate, intimating perhaps that other such monoliths might exist.
All right. This book is in Hungarian. Do you speak Hungarian?
No, unless...
Come wake me up, I have languages.
Unfortunately, you're not going to get anything out of this book. Now, if you would like, you could pick another book, because very quickly you'll oh, I can't read this.
Yeah, we will go with a different book then. YOLO it is. Collected Sermons of the Floated Tongue.
Skimming or going deep?
Oh, going deep.
Okay. This is a handwritten volume purportedly presenting the true words which were spoken by the many mouths of the floated tongue. They're sermons written by, they were preached in a mission called Misión Santa María de la Cabeza. It's like in Baja, California.
Okay.
In 1821, the mission's padres seem to have formed like a glossolalia cult. Do you know what that means, glossolalia? That's when you start speaking words without meaning, just sounds.
Yeah, speaking in tongues, basically.
Yeah, though they were very deliberately described as they were speaking without tongues.
Lots of vowels.
Yeah.
That's why the language is vowels.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Creepy Cthulhu stuff.
Yeah. There were a lot of people initially very interested in this. It started a cult. This is sort of a description of people dealing with that cult as well. They talk about the sweet honey, the Padre's voice, and they also talk about how the priests here started to try to convert the local natives, which was approved of by the Spanish authorities. And they were like whipping and attacking the natives. And it said that their wounds spoke through fresh slit lips.
So many mouths.
Ultimately, historical notes written in a much later hand says that the mission was wiped out by the military in 1825 and razed to the ground.
Honestly,
Good
good
riddance.
And all official records were destroyed.
Yeah, but the mouth cult didn't stop there.
This might have actually been part of the cause of the 1826 Mexican government crisis. But now, maybe all of this is made up. But it seems to be the case that this sounds like something you would know. So, you gain a point of Cthulhu mythos.
And lose a point of sanity.
I need you to make a 2-point mythos stability test.
Oakley dokley.
So that'll be a difficulty 5 test.
And for a loss of 2 points total?
Yes.
Haha, I succeed.
You also have 2 floating points that you could spend for stuff involving the mouths. Like you have a 2-point mouths skill that you could spend on investigative abilities.
Okay.
Nice. You know how these cults get so popular, right? Word of mouth.
Oh, come on.
And then, I guess, do we have another book that we want to read?
Oh, Collin's done reading.
Colin's done reading.
Yeah,
Colin's probably learned his lesson from reading.
he's paid his dues.
Well, Collin, I am going to need you to make me a test, though, because pale death is still haunting your dreams. The crawling mist.
There you go.
I need you to make a 3-point mythos stability test. So difficulty 5 at a loss of 3.
Well,
Yikes.
If you succeed, you will no longer be haunted by this dream.
Oh, well, that's no fun.
Yeah.
I succeeded anyway.
Yay!
Did you succeed?
I rolled a 6, yeah.
Okay. You are able to push away that thing that you read about. It probably was just you having bad dreams just thinking about it.
No, I think it was a manifestation of my guilt surrounding recent events.
Fair. That was also probably it. So
Now, of
that's
course, I have absolved myself of any wrongdoing.
So we have all taken our book round that we now do at the end of our days now, which is a fun thing I've discovered about how our game works.
Look, we stole so many books.
Yeah?
Yes.
What are we going to do? Just leave them like some sort of safe party? Fuck that.
Yeah. Any other things we do in the evening outside of reading books?
Eating
That's
food.
private, Daniel.
Well, yeah, you probably have a dinner of some sort. Was that before or after the teleportation experiment?
Probably after.
Probably
Yeah.
after, yeah.
Okay.
We didn't know if it was going to make us nauseous.
Exactly.
Fair.
Yeah.
Don't want dinner ending up everywhere.
Did
Well,
you
not
guys have
everywhere.
dinner together, or did you have dinner separately? What do we think?
I just need to say that it wouldn't have ended up everywhere. It would have ended up all over JP's room and nowhere else.
Oh no.
I am so glad we decided to eat dinner after.
I would think that we would probably eat dinner together.
Yeah.
I think I passed out as soon as my head hit the pillow
Okay.
Fair.
when I
Casting
went
a
to lie
spell
down.
will take a lot out of you.
Yeah.
So that's 3 people eating and 1 person conked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys talk about the fact that you've now been teleported? Like, how is the meal? Or do you studiously avoid talking about that?
Oh, you bet your ass I'm dodging that shit like the plague.
Okay.
I always thought you were full of shit, Reg. Now I've been teleported.
Even after the mouth thing?
I mean, I started coming around then, but guess the world's a lot weirder than
Collin,
anybody made it out to be.
have I ever lied to you in the past?
So many times.
That was when we were on the job. Something important I've never actually lied to. This is something that, the world is a pretty fucked up place.
I just thought I was fucked up in normal ways.
When you've seen what's beyond the veil, there's no walking back from that.
Yeah, we could always do what Winston did and pretend it never happened until we quietly go mad.
I think we're a little too in deep with this to take that route.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
At night, while folks are asleep, an old man, we just see, I don't know, maybe you even dreamed this a little bit. An old man puts a note under each of your doors. You'll read it when you wake up, but I'll let you know what it says. It says, "Beware. You meddle in things you do not understand, and put your soul at jeopardy." And there is just a cross on it.
Thanks for listening. Reginald Kilworth was Damien, JB Falk was Nathan, Kate Morgan was Renee, and as is often the case, Daniel was our GM. Collin Kane was Russell, who also mixed, mastered, and musicked this episode. Special thanks to Theodore Monk for reading our intro this week. He's got a new podcast called The Friendship Factory that's nothing like this, but you might want to check it out anyway. Our album art is by Trinity the Tea Time Witch, our main theme is by Claire LW on SoundCloud, and we have a website and Discord you're more than welcome to check out if you dare. You may also be interested in checking out Renee's new DeviantArt page, where they're posting all the paintings they're doing inspired by the show. Additionally, I and everyone from Daniel's Dread Tales want to give a heartfelt thank you to everyone who popped in and or donated during our 24-hour extra live stream, including longtimer Moirath, I don't know how to pronounce this, but I'll say damn D&D, and Kat, who is probably more from the Stars Aren't Alright Discord, but she pops into ours too, and she's awesome.
This is Damien from Daniel's Dread Tales, and I would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to everyone who showed up and donated.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're already talking about what to do for next year. Again, thanks for listening, and until next time, the Inquisitor's theme is by Kyle Fryer on SoundCloud and is used with permission from the cast of Wrath and Story. Original lyrics by me. This'll make sense in a minute. Okay, Mythos book theme. Use the main theme? Book time. We're reading Mythos. No, that's awful. Maybe a parody of Wishbone. No, that's insane. Wishbone's in hell. Maybe I don't have to start from scratch. In the depths of the earth, great evil lurks, hints at its revelry in hidden works. And what they don't know is their greatest foe. Our investigators read now from the library they grow. K, Morgan, Collin, Kane, Reginald, JB2. What are they going to read and distribute to who? It's time to choose a book now. Kinda long. Wait, of course. The underlying lesson of every episode of Off Book the Improvised Musical is Zach and Jess. Magic rhymes with tragic.